section or which program. It would be so nice to know. So whilst we continue to do that, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome our first speaker for this session. Of course, she's no other than Stacey Hydes. She'll already be making her mark in Jamaica, and especially around strategy. She is indeed a strategist, a certified one, a trainer, a coach. I mean, a mindful coach. I mean, there are so many things that when it comes on to leadership, she's definitely one of our women in tech who's leading the trend, and of course, around product strategy and marketing. Stacey is the Caribbean tech sector leader with global leadership experience in public, private, and nonprofit sectors. Her commitment to women in leadership and to the technology industry is evidenced in her numerous awards, most recently including the Woman of Impact Award from the High Commission of Canada on International Women's Day this year. She was also appointed as the first Jamaican IT fellow by the Chartered Institute of IT Professionals of the UK in 2022. Selected as the second female president as well of the Jamaica Computer Society in its 47-year history. And of course, Stacey is one of the top 50 Caribbean women in tech in 2021. If you're hearing all those good stuff, I say drop some emoji in the chat just to welcome and help me celebrate Stacey's legacy that she has already left in the technology world. Welcome, Stacey. How are you doing today?
I am like just amazed at how many of you just charged into this room, ready to have this conversation. Like, yes, I see all the emojis, love no bad. I mean, we're gonna have some
there
fun.
We go.
This evening time here. I know it's everybody, you know, you're winding down your day. Well, this is the time for us to get together and collaborate, because you know you're getting rid of all the other things, distractions to your day, and you've chosen to be here this evening. And so I just want to say a special and wonderful welcome to each and every single one of you, both those that are on Zoom and of course those who are on YouTube. So happy to be here with all of you, and thanks so much for NCB for putting this together, for NCB Foundation for bringing this together. And Jody, thanks so much for that intro, and I'm happy to be sharing space with you this evening. Yeah,
you know, Stacey, I am most intrigued on this truth and myths that you're about to share with us or help us to unfold, because maybe it's in our space, but we're not really looking specifically for it. And now you're about to bring it to light and enlighten us on so much, how we can build wealth in STEM careers and the kind of legacy that we actually can leave. So I'm going to hand over to you at this time, Stacey, just to go ahead and charge right into it, because I believe our women and our young ladies are ready to hear from you. Now over to you, Stacey.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jody. Thank you so much. All right, ladies. So we are going to get on and popping in this conversation. Now, I believe that all of my conversations, whether I'm on a big stage or in front of people or a virtual stage, it has to be a collaboration. I want us to be engaged, even though we are virtual. So you guys heard a little bit about me. Now I want to hear as much about you as you can tell me. But we're going to start off with one thing first. I believe that we are all classifying ourselves in different ways in our minds. We're either big dreamers, we're either boss babes, we're either heading for the C-suite, so we're the C-suite hearts, we're either innovators, maybe you're the chief cook and buckle washer. What exactly is it that you think about yourself when somebody say, yeah, man, I know Anna Kay, I know Alexia, I know Kemar. Drop it in the chat. Which one are you? Are you a soulful sister? Are you a power player? Are you the get it done? Who are you? I see somebody said, Tara, you're all rounded. You're all the things. So you would be a chief cook and buckle washer. I love that. So just get it done, Jamila. I love that. Drop it in the chat, ladies. Let me know who you are hailing from. In your mind's eye, what are you currently bossing? Go getter. Yes, I see you. Team player. There you go. Regina, I see you. Get it done. All-rounded boss. I see you, chief cook. Yes, yes. All right. I love it. Thank you guys so much. It makes me feel so warm to the heart to know that you are plugged in, tuned in, and just ready to go. Now, the conversation that we're getting ready to have here is one that talks about the journey that you can take as a woman in tech, and even wider than that, if I was to think about woman in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, right? And many of you may have heard about, you know, the different schools of thought that are out there around technology now, whether it is the different coding academies. Maybe you've heard about that. Maybe you see some titles like Chief Digital Officer, right? Or you see women who are like, you know, fintech lady bosses, but you're not quite sure of where you fit in the tech scene. Or maybe it is that you have heard about these different roles, but you're not quite sure which one is the right one for you. Well, I'm here to tell you, just based on my own journey, that sometimes it's really about what you're willing to explore. It's about your openness and curiosity. So the first thing I want to do is bust up the myth that tech is equal to only coding. Tech equals being a developer, right? Technology has evolved so much. Since I was 9 years old, that's when I got interested in tech. When I was 9, I tell this story all the time. I used to go to work with my dad. He used to work in Wall Street, and I would go to work with him. He used to be in the basement of those really tall buildings that you see on Wall Street in downtown New York. And he used to work in what they call the computer server room. And now what you have in like a laptop, there used to be these huge computers, and there was literally rooms to hold them. And I used to go to work with him at night, literally in these freezer rooms, watching him do magic of some sort with these machines, so that in the morning, people could come in and do their work. And ever since then, I was fascinated with tech, and I always wanted to be a part of technology. But can I just tell you guys that when I decided that I was going to now graduate from university and go off into the world of tech, I did my degree in computer information systems, and my first job was as a developer. Well, I totally flopped. I spent 3 months as a C++ developer working for a company in the US called ADT. That would be like your guardsman or your King Alarm, right? I worked for a US version of that. And after 3 months, I just really being horrible at coding, I said, you know what, I need to look at work, because they're going to fire me if I don't leave. Okay. And so what I ended up doing, guys, is I started to explore, well, what else is available? And you know what happened? I couldn't find no job. I could not find any work to do. And then somehow I was looking around, and I thought I saw something that talked about training. If you'd be interested in training at companies, you should apply. And I had never trained a soul in my life, but I needed a job. Lo and behold, I applied for this training job, and it turns out they were hiring Microsoft trainers. And I was like, well, I can learn it and I can teach it. And so that was actually the first time I fell in love with working with technology, right? And so the first thing I'll tell you guys is one of the truths about tech, especially now, is that there are so many opportunities. When I mean so many opportunities. You can take advantage of just about any career path, whether it is based in technology or not, but you can leverage tech to get you the type of success that you dream about, that you feel is possible, that you think is possible. It's available to you. So that's one of the truths, that you can take a path that is literally all about what you desire in your heart. This morning, as a part of my Becoming the It Girl tour, I was at St. Hugh's High School. And there was a young lady, this is 13th graders, there was a young lady that was participating, and she was talking about being a creative. And she's a creative that has started an online thing where she literally spends hours drawing on whatever platform she's using. And then now she's trying to figure out how to set up a Patreon account so that she can get subscribers, so she can make money. She has a career in tech, even though she's spending her time as an artist, right? And so what I want to say to you is that you want to start thinking outside of the box, because another truth about tech is that it allows you to explore things that people haven't necessarily even thought about. You can be the next innovator. I saw a lot of innovators, all Koreans, Korean here. You have a lot of innovators that have come up through the ranks because of tech. And do not ever believe, one of the myths that people often talk about is that robots are going to take over and do everything. You know, I mean, maybe way down the line. And while we have a lot of things happening exponentially, especially now that you're seeing ChatGPT and you're experiencing tech in a new way, there is a lot of belief that the technology is going to take over from the humans. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not going to be happening for some time to come. And until we can actually foresee that, there's a lot of opportunity for you to be a knowledge worker. And when we talk about the knowledge worker, you're the person that is behind these robots, right? So we're going to bust up that myth that technology is going to take away the opportunity, because you can always position yourself to be the person behind the AI. Because remember that it's a computer, it's a machine, and it requires the knowledge of a human to help it to grow, to learn, to expand, right? Machine learning comes from human knowledge, okay? So one of the myths that we're here to bust up today is just that tech is going to take over and there's no room for you. There is always going to be room for you. And furthermore, you're a woman. You're a woman. So guess what? You are going to come up with your way, and you're going to make your way as a woman who loves technology and wants to see innovation and creative things happening in the space. All right. So who is with me? Who is with me in understanding? We're going to bust up those myths. There are lots of opportunities available. I see Luana saying, you know, I have never thought about it like that. Yes, Luana. Shania says, I am. All right. Tara says, thank you so much for sharing. Network admin level 3 at heart, and a little nervous about going out into the working world. Think outside the box. And the nerves, let me tell you something. I'm so glad you actually said that, Tarly. The nerves are an indication that you are challenging the status quo, that you are pushing against the comfort zone, right? Because we all get comfortable when we know and we understand, we get comfortable, right? And then there comes a point in time where being called into something greater. We're being called into something more. We're being called into the next level of our becoming. And so that's when we talk about becoming the next it girl. You are already it, you know. You are already it. It's just that you are discovering the different parts of yourself. And that's where the discomfort and the nervousness kind of comes from. So yes, jump right in there, feel uncomfortable, and do it anyway, okay? Now, we couldn't talk about the pathway in tech and the truths and myths without, of course, me sharing something really critical with you. And this is about building wealth. So I'm going to share my journey so that you kind of get a true sense of what it looked like, right? I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see. Yeah, I know I have a lot of you on here. Oh my gosh, so many of you. I'm loving it. All right. Yes. Okay, got it. All right. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so this, what you're looking at now, right, is my journey in tech. Now, I started off in fast food technology, right? Anybody here know what fast food technology is? I used to work for Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was my first job, and I was the technician that put the dough into the oven. That was my work, right? And I was very happy for the little work. At 16 years old, I was working at Pizza Hut, putting the dough into the oven, okay? And oven were technology. I may not have had a degree in IT yet, but I was using the tech, right? Now, roll fast forward, I went to school, I got my undergrad degree, and then I started out working. I told you how I sucked as a developer, and then I moved into training. And from training, I became an instructional designer, then a tester, then an analyst, then a systems lead in implementation. So you'll notice that over here, I mean, literally, you could say that I was a real Jamaican. I mean, I did live a foreign, like I lived away from most of my life, guys. But it's like I was still Jamaican. And I said Jamaican, I always have 10 jobs. Yeah. I was that girl, okay? I think I still am. I think I have like 10 jobs right now, right? As you are, so you will always be. Okay, so my career, if you notice, right, I would say that it started out in what persons would consider tech, traditional tech. And I tried a lot of different things. So another thing that I want to share with you guys, as you are building your tech wealth, right, it may be because you have to pay bills. I started my family really young. So for me, it was a lot about, okay, I have to go to work because I have a baby to feed. You know, I have a husband to take care of. I have bills at home, etc. So I wanted to make sure that I kept a job so that I could actually take care of my needs. And for many of us, that's where our wealth journey starts. And I just want to say, guys, you don't want to get, I know there's a lot of talk about financial investment and growth and, you know, real estate, and you want to do all of these things. You may not be able to start there, and that's okay, right? But you got to start somewhere, right? So this first bucket of jobs in tech was me really trying to find my way, trying to see what I enjoyed. And the truth of the matter is, at each stage in each company or in each opportunity, I liked different things. And then when I didn't like it anymore, the thing about technology is that once you have the core disciplines down, you can literally say, I'm going to go explore this over here instead. It's a great way for you to expand and explore, especially if you see that the financial opportunity is more available and accessible to you in a different space, right? So this was round one. I would call it level one money. This is where the level one money is paying the bills and feeding the babies. Okay, who's with me? Who's with me in level one money? You get level one money? I want to know that you understand level one money. Do we get it? Yes, I get it. Okay, with you. Thank you very much, Shania. All right, so now we are moving up to level two money. So this is now where I'm moving from being just an executor, right? I am the person that has to execute all the things, to actually now leading a group of people who are the executors. All right. Now, what happened along the way is that I went back to school. And in this instance, and this is when formal degrees were really a thing, right? Formal degrees like a master's, etc. And I would say that I encourage you that if you have access to definitely pursue those degrees. However, in the last 20 years, we have seen so much evolve now, right? That you don't necessarily need a master's degree to move from implementer to leadership, right? You can move there based on your skill level. You can move there based on certifications. You can move there just based on the opening and you being brave enough to take the risk to apply for the job. Okay, so I left here, did my master's degree while I was working, et cetera, moved over to leadership. I started off as a team lead to transition over, so I could understand the distinction between implementing something like technically doing something and then leading people. And guys, let me tell you, there is a reason why you have a distinction between being somebody that is implementing and somebody that is leading an implementation, because seeing and doing a task is one thing versus actually understanding the end result that you're going after. Like, what is the long-term vision? What's the big plan? Coming up with that plan and then taking others with you. Those are the skills now that go beyond just your implementer skills. Those are the skills that require you to do a little bit more continuous learning, right? You will notice that along my journey, I keep learning. Like, I haven't stopped. I'm always taking a course or a certificate or something. It's like I'm addicted to school. And the reason is because continuous learners are the knowledge workers. So I'm making sure, so when the robots them take over in the future, I am one of the people that them can, you know, I'm a guru, I'm Zen, them can't touch me because my brain is like, anyway, I'm joking now. Okay, so you get the point though. We moved from just executing into leading and starting to, at each stage, starting to learn the different skills that I needed to build the vision and then create the plan for how we're going to achieve the vision together. That requires developing yourself so that you can develop other people. It is beyond technical skills. Beyond the technical skills, because you can be a really good developer and a horrible boss. right? So the one piece of advice I will give you is, as you're on the transition from level 1 money to level 2 money, which is level 1 implementer to level 2 leader, right? You want to make sure that you are also creating that level up of leadership, because when you are leveling up in your leadership mindset, that's when you also start to learn about smart investing, about taking your money, and instead of just shopping or buying the next outfit for the next breakfast party, you're actually taking some of that and investing it so that you can utilize it to help with your continuous development, so that you can be a great boss, you can get all the promotions, you can enter the C-suite, you can do all the things that now take you to level 3 leadership, where you are not only now getting people to lead, but you're leading entire companies, right? You are doing all these different roles that you are creating now an impact. So you leave from just the money part to now talking about how you're changing lives, how you're doing talks and imparting knowledge onto others, not necessarily because you need the financial money, because you're not getting paid for it, but because you are serving and you are giving back, whether you're giving back to your country, you're giving back to your community, you're giving back to your family, but you are leaving a legacy through the power of technology, okay? Everybody with me on that one, you understand? Yes, I want to see. Yes, I get it. I understand it. I see. I get it. Yes. No, all of this journeying right here, from tech to tech leadership to woman of impact legacy, it requires you to be not just focused, but also intentional. So if you have followed me at all online, you know that I talk a lot about intention. Or if you've been in any of my talks, my lives, you know, I talk a lot about the power of intention. And the reason why it's important for you to understand the power of intention is because intention is the why behind everything that you do. So if your only why, the only reason I'm going into tech is because I hear it can make money. No, there's nothing wrong with that why. Yeah. But there's actually something behind that, that is the actual intention. The money is just a means to get you to something, right? And it's a means to get you to freedom, to peace of mind, to contentment, to legacy, to impact. It is getting you to something, right? And so what you want to intend is you want to intend for the something, because there are many instances or opportunities where you'll get to the something even without having the money, even without doing all the hard work that you think is required to do the hard work. So you have to be really careful about how you're focusing and intending. And that is what actually helped me to accelerate my career in tech from leadership to woman of impact. Because somewhere in between tech leadership and woman of impact, I started to have all these life experiences that didn't have anything to do with my knowledge, right? I had a complete life pop down, okay? I lost parts of my body because I had cancer. I lost my marriage because I got divorced, and I was literally losing my mind and seeing a psychiatrist for clinical depression, right? And so in between tech leadership and woman of impact, I had to recognize that this journey of woman in tech, of the next it girl, requires more than just focusing on the knowledge side and on the doing and going after the wealth, right? So I had to get really clear about my intention. And since my intention now shifted, I started to recognize some of the new habits I had to put in place in order to make my life work. Okay? Now, one of the things that I wanted to really bring home to you guys is that there is actually a pathway to support you as you navigate this. How exactly is it that I set up myself as this woman in tech, right? How do I set up myself as this woman of the future, this next it girl, without the pop down that Stacey had? Because that's the entire reason I do half of these talks, right? Because I believe that every single one of us within ourselves, we're like oak trees, right? You know, Oprah sits underneath her big oak tree in our garden in Maui, where she does all her lovely interviews, right? I believe that each of us has that little seed inside of us, that acorn that is going to become this huge oak tree. And as a part of that growth process, or we can use the butterfly and the caterpillar, right? As a part of that growth process, we have to learn the different things that are going to help us to bloom as we grow. Because you can grow and you're not blooming, right? I'm sure you guys have passed by some trees right here in Jamaica where you feel sorry for the tree because all you're seeing is a little branch them, but the tree itself is not blooming. There aren't any blossoms. You ever see a poi tree after the springtime when all of the beautiful blooms have fallen off? Right. Think of yourself as, when you're thinking about yourself as becoming the next it girl, as that person that is in bloom. And so you really have to plan your life in a way that will help you to accelerate success while you are also blossoming, while you are also taking care of you. So I actually have a couple of things that I want to make sure I leave you guys with that you can take with you as you are planning your next big it move, whatever that next big it move is. And one of them is a success planner, which I will actually drop the link for in a couple of minutes. But before I drop the link, there's one page in the planner that I want to make sure that you guys do when you get it, right? And this is the page right here. It is the page that is specifically related to becoming the next it girl. So the first thing that you're seeing is making sure that you set your epic intention, right? You want to make sure that you set your epic intention. If you're not on your phone, you can go ahead and you can scan this QR code. I'll drop this in the chat too, but you can scan the QR code and you can fill out that form if you want to make sure that you are being considered for the STEM program that we have for young women. So you have your epic intention, right? And then you have to get clear on what exactly it is you want out of this life. Do you want to take that journey like I took, or do you want a different path? Then you want to make sure that you're identifying the 3 top things that stress you out, okay? The top 3 things that stress you out, because what I recognize now is that we are operating in a time where stress is so prevalent. It's such a prevalent thing that you can't ignore it because it is hindering our success. It is what will cause you to not get to your next level, your great epic, whatever it is you're creating. And then after you've identified your stressors, then you want to put in place now your habits that are going to help you, whether those habits are your intentions, your daily journaling, your gratitude practice, whatever it is those habits are. And that will help you to develop your ROAR, which are routines offering accelerated results. Because if your ROAR is not developed, then you're going to go out there into this big wild world, right? And you're going to get eaten up by all of the different things that are going to come at you, whether it's the bill collectors, the debtors, the poor, bad relationships with whatever kind of abuse that is out there now, whether it is the government, because we complain about government and all the problems that government, like everything will become this big, huge problem that you can't solve for because you have not developed routines that are offering you the acceleration beyond all of the problems, beyond all of the stressors. And then you want to make sure you identify, well, what is the benefit that I expect from taking part in these routines that I have set up for myself, all right? And then I put a little section for you to actually say, what are the things that you're gonna start doing today? And if you already know something that you want to start doing today to help you to get to becoming the next it girl, I want you to drop it in the chat now. Is it journaling? Is it the gratitude practice? Is it reading a new book every month, every week for those of us that are the high achievers, right? What is that routine that's going to help you? What do you think you can start doing tomorrow that is going to take you down the path of becoming the next it girl? You can drop that in the chat. One thing. I'm not asking you to drop all 3. What one thing can you create a habit around? Is it intention setting? Is it daily affirmations? Is it looking at your vision board and committing to take one action every day or once a week? What is the one thing that you can start doing today that is going to move you towards becoming the next it girl? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here to hear about it. Yes, I want to see what you guys are dropping in the chat. Come look and see if you're paying attention. All right. Daily affirmations. I see it. My why. Yes, I love that. Do more research. Yes, researching and checking things out, utilizing your resources, journaling, being consistent. Can I just tell you something about being consistent? When you talk about a routine, building a routine about something so that you're consistent has exponential results. Like, guys, you will not regret if it's even being consistent at gratitude. Like, you could literally just be consistent about being grateful every day or every other day, and you'd be so surprised. Let me see all these amazing things. Yes, being confident, taking action, consistent and determined. Yes, planning and organizing my life, better time management. You guys are just like, you're on it. You're on it. You got it. Yes, journaling. Reading more regularly, intention setting. I see somebody say waking up earlier, joining that 5 a.m. club. So you guys get it. You guys understand that if you can commit yourself to even one thing, when you know your intention, and then you can just take that first step of just being committed to doing one action that is going to bring you closer to that goal, then the success is almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. You just got to get up every day. So you can commit to it, but then you got to do it, right? You got to commit to it and then do it. So I want to make sure that you guys have access to everything that you need in order to become the next it girl. So I created an ebook, a planner, a 2023 success planner, and I'm going to share with you guys the link in the chat so that you can actually download that if you would like. And this will help you to accelerate success without stress, because I am so about that soft life. It's no joke. I really believe that as somebody that live hard life, I think it's time for my soft life now. And I believe that if more of us understand what is actually required to have a more balanced approach, to be that balanced lady boss, we all have it within us to be that balanced lady boss. You can have success and not take on all this overwhelm and burnout that is so commonplace right now. Okay, it is not necessary, and you can create an amazing career in STEM and build the wealth and leave the legacy and impact that you want while maintaining your wellness and creating a life with the loved ones that you desire. All right, so please feel free, guys, to go ahead and you can download that ebook. I will also drop the PDF. And I'll make sure to share it with Foundation so that they can actually share it with you. But that's my 30 minutes time. I like to make sure that I stay on time. So thanks so much, guys, for your attention. I hope this was refreshing and the conversation that you came in with. Yes, I want to see some thumbs up, snap some fingers, and I will take any questions that you guys may have at this time. Thanks, Jody.
All right, so go ahead and put the questions in the chat, guys. We definitely want to hear from you. But from the Balanced Lady Boss herself, I believe you have left with us sufficient nuggets that will take us through to empowering ourselves so we can become that next it girl. Thank you so much, Stacey. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot. And I'm sure everyone on this join on the Zoom and on YouTube have also learned. I'm not seeing any questions just yet, but I'd love to take the opportunity to introduce the next section that we do have. And this is around the legacy of being money smart. Because after you become that it girl, it is it. You need to know how to manage your wealth. How do you manage that legacy? And specifically, the finances that come with that. All right, I think I just saw a question in the chat, Stacey. Let me just go back here. I'm not seeing it. All right. But let me just go straight into it. So coming up next to speak with you is Valerie Ferguson. And Valerie is the branch manager for the Port Maria branch, that's the NCB. And she has over 28 years experience in the industry. In fact, she's from Manchester and now living in St. Thomas, which is very nice because I'm from Manchester too, Valerie. So I'm happy that we connected that way. Right. And she's also a past student of the Morant Bay High School and the University of the Technology, Jamaica. Do we have any UTech persons here? If you're here, just drop UTech in the chat. I want to hear, because I want to make sure that Valerie knows that, you know, persons are here from her alma mater as well, representing. Now, Valerie has so many years experience from in customer service to personal and business banking to foreign exchange and credit, and has her civic duty in volunteering, specifically in the NCB Foundation. She's also a board and an alumni association of Morant Bay High School, her alma mater. I believe Ms. Ferguson has many years and qualifications that we can start to speak of, whether it be from the Jamaica Institute of Management, the University of Technology Jamaica, as we mentioned earlier, as well as the NCB Corporate Learning Center that's available in Arbinger, Caribbean. Now, leadership and customer service are among her most dominant strengths, where she encourages teamwork, positive attitude, strong performance, and aims to ensure her customers remain loyal to the brand for which she works. With no further ado, help me welcome Valerie Ferguson to this Women in Tech conversation. Welcome, Valerie. How are you?
Thank you so much, Jody. I am elated to be here. And let me tell you something. I could listen to Stacey all evening talk.
Can I tell you?
We can just say the benediction and go home, you know. Because, I mean, it was just so refreshing just to hear a woman talk about her journey, you know?
Yes.
And in a space where this is more becoming evident that people need to become IT knowledgeable, because that's where the world is. And in the future, as she said, there might be some robots. So what do? We need to save some money for ourselves. We need to become money smart, so that at that time, when we don't have the 9 to 5, we have our monies to rock back on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me again. I do believe that there are some persons on the line from the Level Up program that I would have interacted with in the last session. So let me say big up to my Level Up people. It's good to see you online, and just drop in the chat if you're on the Level Up program before. Yes, I'm seeing Karen. Wow, so many of you. Welcome, welcome, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. And without further ado, just to keep to my time, we're going to go right back to school. So I just want to just drop in the chat. What do you understand by the term money? Just drop in the chat. What do you understand by the term money? Or to you, what is money to you? I don't see anybody typing. You don't know what is money? All right, I see security. Yes, legal tender. Good. Independent. Woo! Money is valuable to me. All right, good, good, good. So you all know what we're here to talk about. Let me help you now to see how we all can become more money smart. Good. You need it to survive a better life. All right, you can stop now. Let us get into the presentation. And guys, I'm really happy to be sharing with you again. So, just a moment, let me share my screen. So we're gonna go back to school a little, and you would have stated some of the how money is described. So we're gonna look at 3 of them this evening, because there are many other definitions or many other things that money is known as. But as we know, as a medium of exchange, someone dropped it in the chat earlier, it is used to pay for goods and services. And for those of you who would have gone to school back in the days, you'd have heard about the barter system. So 2 people met up in a field. Somebody had some goats, another one had a cow, some had corn, some had beans. They had to make sure that they exchange corn for cow, goat for beans, and etc. But in came this valuable commodity called money, and we now can use it to pay for goods and services. We need it to survive. It is what businesses use to obtain more money and to grow. So like gold and other precious metals, money has worth, because without it, we could not buy and we could not sell. All right. Now, it is also a unit of account. What do we mean by a unit of account? So for something to be a unit of account, it has to be divisible, meaning that you can take 1 unit of something, divide it, and it still represents the same. All right. You can use it, sorry, you can count it, it is still the same. So if you have 10 $1 coins, it is still what? $10. But if you have one $10 coin, that's still a $10. So it doesn't matter how you divide it, it's still the same. It is also countable, as I said before. You can count it. It is also fungible. So it doesn't matter how long you put it down. If you put down $10, it is still going to be $10 down the road. It might not value the same because of inflation, but it's still $10. And $10 in the United States will still be $10 there. $10 in Jamaica is still $10. It's also a means of storing value. And the stored value, meaning that wherever you go across the continent, money is accepted. So you go only apart from China, which is now going, I would say, cashless. And yes, the world is going cashless. There are every country that you're going to now, you can tender money because that's the preferred means of spending. So the value of money will remain the same as is, except when you talk about things like exchange rate and inflation, which will affect it. And I'll just tell you a little bit about exchange rate. As you know, in Jamaica, our currency is hedged against the US currency. So the more demand that is placed for the US currency, we have to use more of our Jamaican dollars to get $1. And because of, inflation, which means that the prices of goods and services are going up again because of the exchange rate fluctuation, then the value of our money is slowly what? Declining and declining. So what do we do to ensure that when we stop doing our 9 to 5, we still have some money that we can still use to exchange for goods and services? It still has some value, and so on. So we're going to go into some of the things that we can do. But still in school, just to give you a little refresher for those of you who didn't remember. So we don't just have notes and coins these days that are the types of money that we use. Some of them, people still do use checks, right? And then there's also cards, so credit cards and debit cards. This is what gives you access to your money. And on a credit card, you can actually get access to money in the form of lending. Also, we're talking about the digital space because we know exist in a digital space where you're hearing about Bitcoins, and you will hear further down, we have even our own, what we call our mobile wallet. So again, in China, for those of you who keep up to date with what is happening in the world market, when you're in China, people don't even want a credit card from you. You go to the merchant, you take out your phone, you just hold it over their phone, you pay for what you need to get, and you're going about your business. So the world is changing. And as the world changes, Jamaica is what? As America sneezes, we catch the cold. So therefore, if we are going to be money smart, we have to know what is happening in the economy, how to protect what we have now, how to plan for the future, so that at that age, when we're no longer able to go out to work, we have something in place to cushion us. And not just then, we also want to enjoy life while we're working. You heard how Stacey spoke so passionately about what she does, and I'm sure that she's enjoying her money now. We too can enjoy what we have if we know how to invest wisely. All right, is everyone with me so far? Let me see those reactions. Make sure you're not sleeping yet. All right, so what are some of the things that we need to do in order to keep our money, to spend wisely and so on? So first thing we need to do, we're getting a salary every month. Let us put in place a proper budget. Don't just get your salary and you just start spending. So what are some of the things that you must take care of? You can start dropping it in the chat. Well, I know that the number one thing is food, because everybody has to eat. We have to eat, right? So you can start dropping in the chat. And by the way, before I go any further, let me ask you to listen, take your notes, because there will be an exercise at the end, and some winnings. Yes, we have money to give away. So just in case, let me go back to the first slide. I wanted to make sure you remember all that was said before. Take your notes, because at the end of the presentation, we're going to give us some money. Don't you want some money, everybody? All right, we do need some money. So I'm going to give away some money, or should I say the foundation is going to give away some money. So I'll be taking some notes. So let's go back now to our tips. So put in place that budget, right? If you cannot, some persons, you might not be technologically savvy. Get a book, write down your budget. How much you're going to spend for groceries, the light bill, the water rate. For some of you, entertainment, yes, so you have to buy the party clothes and so on. Put aside a little, but don't spend it all. And remember, I'll always tell you, remember, for those of you who are Christians, you go to church, remember your tithes and offering. I'm not going to leave that one out, sorry. So give God his due first, then you pay yourself 10%. So that savings that we talk about there, you must put allocation within your budget for at least 10% of your income, which is going to go towards your savings goal. All right. So when you get, and if you start saving from the little that you're earning, when you start making the big bucks, you will still maintain the same discipline. And that is why it is good to start from your earning what we would say the minimum wage. And you might say, how can I do that? You can do it, just start. All right. Contribute fully to your pension fund. So if your workplace has a pension fund in place where they're doing the minimum 5% and you're expected to do that 5%, you are encouraged to contribute fully. You can do up to 15%. However, you don't have to do the 15% all at once. You can start adding, increments. So let us say you get a salary increase. You can put aside an additional 1% and continue to increase that. And there's a reason behind it. When you get to retirement age, if you're only contributing that 5%, you will be taking home approximately 40% of what you would have been earning at the time of retirement. However, if you contribute the full 15%, the calculations says that, the actuaries say that you will be able to take home at least 75 to 80% of what you would have been taking home at the time of retirement. And don't you want to live as comfortable as you are at the time of retirement, just as though you're getting your last paycheck? You want to get your pension and you feel as though you're still working? Hello? Right. So I encourage you all to contribute to your pension fund. You also should put in place some funds for contingency expenses. I mean, you wake up going to work, all okay, and all of a sudden something happens, right? You did not plan for it, but if you are putting aside funds for contingency expenses, you can draw on that. So nothing is wrong with you having multiple accounts. And as I go into the slides, you will see what type of accounts that we have that can help you to put aside these emergency funds. It could be that you take out a life insurance with some investment on it, right? So those are some of the options that you can take out. You can also do a savings account, which is different from your salary account. And you can also open your account, even if you want to go outside of your regular, let's say you're in the financial space, but you don't want to keep it within. You can also go to a credit union, open an account, keep that fund separate where you don't touch it, so that when those emergency cases arise, you can rock back on it. Cut down on wastage as well. How many of us, Lord have mercy, we cook the big pot of food, we only eat it Sunday and Monday, and then we throw it out Tuesday. We all of us, I assume, might be guilty of that. Let us cut down on wastage. The same thing, don't turn on all the lights in the house. If you're using one room, the light should be on in that room. If you're not using the light, turn it off. Check for leakages in your house, around your house. Make sure you cut down on wastage, because if you cut down on these wastages, you are saving money. Am I right? Or am I right? You are saving money. All right. Again, use less, be economical. What are some of the things that we splurge on and we use a lot of it? right? You know yourselves, you can talk about what you use a lot of. So just economize the man and just save some money. I mean, if you can save an extra 2% per month out of your pay, even with inflation, you'll be better off for it. And this one is very important, and I must say it. Let us not be ready-eye, as we say in Jamaica. It is not, don't keep on looking at the other person and thinking that, okay, my friend is driving an Audi, I need one too, I must drive one too. And then you put yourself in problem, you know you can't afford it. Don't be ready-eye. In other words, take your time, work hard, you will get there. If you take the tips that we're giving you, you can reach your goal, right? What is happening in our country right now is that a lot of, you have heard about the different spate of robberies, even in our own space. And this is because people do not want to work hard, right? So there's a term, work smart, not hard, but some persons take it to another level. So ladies and gentlemen on the line, do not be red-eye. Work hard for what you need, and God will bless the fruits of your labor. All right. Last, not least, but very important, plan for the future. So the first step was planning for your monthly expenses and probably your immediate expenses. Plan for the future, right? Write down your goal plan. By age 25, I must do this. Some of you want to go to do your degree. You want to buy a car. You want to get a house. Some want to get married. You want to start having children. Plan effectively for your future so that you can better manage your expenses along the way and how you forecast. Because guess what? You get out of university, and the first thing that you do, you have the student loan, but oh my God, I need to make sure that I'm driving the latest car. And you force yourself to take the car, you still owe the student loan. And next thing you know, the bank start to call you because what? Your loan is going into arrears, and you could not afford to buy that high-end car. Buy something that is more economical, something that you can manage, and then you can upgrade. There's always the option to upgrade. You can trade in when you start getting more money. So let me just repeat, put a budget in place, save 10% of your income, contribute fully to your pension fund, put some emergency funds aside, cut down on wastage, use less, be economical, do not ready people for them things, and make sure you plan for the future. Are you with me so far, guys? Is everyone with me? All right, you're there. Good. Happy to have you. Good. Keep it up. You're learning. All right. So we're going to look at some of the ways now you can increase your wealth. Now, Stacey spoke earlier about her journey through her career path, right? Some of us will be taking that, some of you will be taking that path, but others will be taking, probably just want to be financially viable by just, sitting back and let your money work for you. How are you going to do that? So in terms of increasing your wealth now, because it's still about being money smart, you want to make sure you protect your wealth. So you need to look for a viable option to invest in. Now, you may not have the money all at once to just dump into a fixed income investment, but you can start with a savings account. As a matter of fact, let me get a little bit more granular. Start with the partner. How many persons on here throw partner? Just give a thumbs up. We all don't know each other, so we won't tell anybody you're gonna get a partner draw. But if you throw a partner, when you get the partner draw, just spin off all of it. Put some money in a savings account, right? At NCB, our minimum to open a savings account is $5,000. And if you want to go in a fixed income account, you can open it with $50,000 and you can add to that. That's a start. Start somewhere. You may be a little bit more, I would say, explorative, and you want to go into the stocks and the shares. You want to buy into an IPO. Here is another opportunity. There are many companies who are earning funds by listing some of their shares on the stock market. One of the easiest way to get yourself into the stock market is to invest in those IPOs. And why I say it is easier, usually the prices come out at an affordable rate that you can easily afford. And usually, and guess what? You only need 100 units of the stock. So if the stock is coming out at what? $1, you need $100 plus another fee of $10 and something. So it's easy. So understanding that there are different avenues out there to help you to build on your wealth. Here are some of them. And you want to know more, get into the on the computer, go on the University of Google, read up on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The information is there. There are many podcasts as well, where you have these analysts who come and tell you about stocks that you can buy, those that you can sell. And so if the fact that you all have the internet at your fingertips, use it for your advantage. Mutual funds is also another way that you can actually save your money in. In these funds, they go into a mix of funds. So some of them go into stock, they go into real estate, and what they do, it is done that way to give you a better return, in that, the real estate market in Jamaica is always on the increase. You rarely hear that we have a housing crisis. Most, if not all the times, house values appreciate in Jamaica. So mutual funds is also another way, because this is price driven. So as the prices of stocks and real estate goes up and people buy and sell these funds, you will end up with a better return on your money. Bonds is another form. These are short to long term. They give you periodical interest, and you can use that income that you get from your bonds and reinvest it in some stocks. So it's like we have a term in Jamaica where we say turn over your money. You can turn over your money. Another way you can do too, you can convert your Jamaican dollars to foreign currency, because again, we're hedged against the US dollars, and because of the continuous devaluation, our Jamaican dollars may not worth what I spoke about, the stored value. It will not worth the same come 10 years down the road. So if you have a habit of saving, you can save in foreign currency, because what you purchase your dollar for today, it is going to worth far more down the road when you convert it. But not to put it in today and take it out back tomorrow, because you're going to be losing on that end. So these are some of the avenues that you can take to start putting some money aside to build your wealth. Spoke about life insurance and investments. Some of you have children. What about the legacy that you're leaving for your children? How can you do that? Life insurance, buying into a life insurance is one way that you can leave a legacy for your children, right? If they are young, you can put it in trust. You can name a trustee, so that in the event, God forbid, you die while they're underage, that trustee will now help to ensure that when they get to the age of maturity, they can access that money. And there are many life insurance products that has investment tied to them, which will help you to save some money so that you can enjoy some of your money while you're alive as well. All right. Real estate is one of the most widely used form of investment in Jamaica, because from real estate, you can get short to long-term rental, and that is in the business space. Sometimes you can rent out your facilities for Airbnb, and a lot of people are doing that now, so much so the hotels are getting a lot of competition. You can look in to start a business. Why not start a business? What are you good at? Because you can do that to supplement your income, and it comes right back to you, saving your money. So the more you can generate income and the more you can save, is the better for you. I mean, I can share with you one idea. If there's an IPO coming up, why not take a loan? You might not have the money to put into it. Why not take a loan and invest? You can, and once that stock doubles, you can take your profit and pay off back your loan. So there are many ways you can use the banking system to help you to create your wealth. Online work in this space, oh my God, everybody is now online. People translating, people doing games, people doing all sorts of things to make money. YouTube is one of those platforms that are helping people to make money. You see, even our entertainers, talk about Meet the Mitchells, right? They are, during the pandemic, when people had nothing to do, no work to go because they were locked down. They didn't just sit down and not do anything. They started something, and many people can now relax and say, you know what? No 9 to 5, can't bother with the road anymore. We stay in my yard and we make money. So there are many avenues. Which one of them will you choose? Have you started thinking it? You can drop it in the chat as we move on. Okay, so I did say I will talk to you a little bit about our deposits. So our products are tailored to help you in terms of your specific needs. Not every account will help everyone's needs. So what we do, we tailor our accounts based on what you need, because we expect you to save to get some interest. We expect you to spend. We expect you to put aside some money for long term. So as I go down, you will see some of the products that we have. And why is it important to save? It gives you peace of mind. It allows you to enjoy greater security. Let me tell you something. The most miserable man on earth is a man who don't have a dime and in picnic sick, or he has an operation to do and he cannot find the money. So yes, money offers peace of mind. When you know you can pay for things that you need. Notice I use the word need. Very important. You can always satisfy the wants other ways, but having money to satisfy your need is good because you feel secured. It also provides financial security. Financial security in the sense that you know you can leave a legacy for your children, you can take care of your family members, you can buy whatever you need. You can also use that same money if you need to invest in any projects and so on. You don't want to use your property as security, you can use your cash as a security for a loan. You can also use savings to maximize interest, because the more you save is the more you earn. The more money you have in your account is the greater the return that you're going to get. And again, I'd mentioned it earlier, you save for irregular or recurring expenses, and you use money. You save as well to plan for your retirement. So what are some of the products that we have to help you? I just want you to focus a bit on that nice lady who is standing over the gentleman at the computer. We gave her a name. Her name is Tanisha Jones, and she's a young professional earning about $1.5 million. And she wants to have financial stability. She wants to, do her education at a higher level. And of course, somewhere down the road, she wants to get a mortgage and a car, and of course, a veil of vacation. All right. So really, she was want to invest in her future. Now, for somebody like Tanisha, what would we give to her? She's young, $1.5 million. Okay, we start her out with a savings account, because no doubt with all of her plans, she's gonna need to take some funding, right? And there you see our minimum opening balance is just $5,000. You get interest on this account 2 times for the year, right? We expect you to maintain the $5,000 on the account so that there's no minimum balance violation. And interest is paid on it, as you can see, 0.05% to 0.7%. You may say that's low, but not to worry, guys. We do have other accounts that will afford you higher rates of interest, right? So for the regular savings account, anyone can open that account once you're an adult, age 18 and over. Now we have another account that is called the on-the-go account. This on-the-go account is a person, so you just want an account to just pass your money through. You're not really leaving it there. You're just passing your money through. So for example, those of you who are working and you want to open an account, we give you the on-the-go account. It's just really a transaction account. You do internet banking with it. There's no minimum balance requirement. No interest is paid. You just have somewhere you can keep your funds. You don't walk around with it or put it under your mattress. Okay. And you can access this account online at our ABMs, at our point of sale merchants. Then we have the NCB Quick Save. The Quick Save account is for persons who do not have all the requirements to open like a regular savings account. So they may have 2 items, so which is your ID and your TRN. For those persons who have that account, we give them a Quick Save account to allow everyone to be onboarded. All you need to open that account is $100, and you can deposit up to $250,000 and no more. So you're not allowed to do any wire transfers. So certain transactions you cannot do on it until you would have given us all the requirements to allow you to be upgraded to a fully KYC, as a know your customer status. And I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. So there you have it. So you can start thinking about it from now. Which of these accounts will I be opening if you do not have it already? Then we move to those who are you want to invest at a higher rate now. So here's our Sunshine Savers account for our goodly experienced professional. All right. He is earning in excess of $3 million. And of course, someone like him, we will be engaging him to open either a Sunshine Savers Club or the max deposit account. And on these two accounts, you'll note the minimum balances are higher, 10,000 and 50,000 respectively. And also all our accounts, with the exception of with the exception of the, let me just go back. With the exception of the Quick Save account, you can open a US account, US sterling, Canadian, and Euro as well. So we do that for our max deposit and the regular save. On the Sunshine Savers Club, you're expected to put money in every quarter, and you get interest 4 times for the year. Interest rate still 0.05% to 0.70%. But when you move into the max deposit category now, where you open with $50,000 or any of the other currencies, you can invest from 1 month up to 12 months. And you can use it now to access secured lending, such as loans and credit cards. And you get your interest at a higher rate. Please excuse me for that 0.05. That's an error right there. But you can get anywhere from 2.3% to 5% on these new deposits. So these new deposits coming from outside, not what you already have, you can get up to 5% on your max deposit account. But we will tell you, you can always call on me for the amounts, because not on the 50,000, you wouldn't get it on $50,000. So let me say that from now. But we start at 2.30%. Are we okay so far? I've been talking a lot. Are we okay learning, or just a refresher? Okay, good. I see those thumbs up. No, we don't want anyone to feel left out. So we're going to go now to our seniors. And once you're age 55 and over, you can get an NCB Go Club account. On this one, your interest is paid monthly. So we reward you for being, a senior, and you get discounts in the bank, as you can see there on if you have a safety deposit box already with us, there's a 50% deposit on the fee. You get your manager's checks, 50% as well, and your standing orders. And of course, the interest rate is a little bit higher on this one. And then for our babies, 0 to 17 years old, this is our start account, $1,000 to open. For this one, though, the parent of the child or the court-appointed guardian must be on the account. Once they get to the age of, I think, 14, they can get a debit card and they can do their own withdrawals. And of course, interest is paid on this account as well. So all of our accounts pays interest, with the exception of that on-the-go account. So by now, you should start thinking about which one do I want. Because, for example, you can always open an on-the-go account just to receive your salary, but open a savings account, a regular savings account, set up your standing order so you can save that 10% that I spoke about earlier on. When that gets to the 50,000, you can move off. If it gets to 60,000, move off the 50 into a max deposit, and so on and so on. So guys, there is an opportunity for every single person on this platform to build your wealth. And it doesn't take a lot of money to do it. You just need to start where you are. Are you with me? All right, so within the NCB group too, we have other products, and this is my second to last slide, just to remind you that we have something exciting coming up at the end. So I hope you have been taking your notes. All right, so we have different types of loans on the personal, and if there are any business person on the line, we do have our business loans. In the interest of time, however, I will not go into all of them, but I will shoot an email to you so that, I'll put my email address in the chat. So for anyone who wants to reach out, you can also do so, and I will be more than happy to have someone speak to you on the types of loans that we have for both business and personal. We have a line of credit cards that are designed for all our personal customers, all our business customers. So again, we give you options. Our NCB Capital Markets, we spoke about different options, repurchase agreement, which is fixed income on the capital markets, mutual funds, you want to buy into your stocks and shares. That's what NCB Capital Markets facilitates. And in our branches across the network, there's a representative who can assist you, and where there is none, we just have them call you and they can guide you through the process. Again, we also have our NCB Insurance Agency and Fund Managers Limited. Now they deal with the investment and the insurance arm. So investment in the sense that if you have your child and you intend to, well, everybody should be looking forward to sending their children to university. Under the NCB Insurance Fund Managers Limited, you can get a product that actually pays money to the university that your child or children will be attending. And they also facilitate pension-like investment. So if you're a self-employed person and you don't have a 9-to-5 for your company to pay into a pension fund for you, you can actually access your own through the NCB Smart Retirement Plan. And that is a fund that you can save in that will allow you to get a steady flow of income when you shall have reached the age of retirement. And last but by no means least, for the young and savvy among us, and Stacey spoke about the tech. So the tech is on the line. Digital payment wallet under the Link app is what is on the lips of everybody in Jamaica. It is our own digital wallet platform where you can actually receive, send money. You can use it to pay bills. You can use it at supermarkets. You can transfer it to each other. All is required is for you to download the app, or I can send you the link. And as you sign up, you invite others to sign up. Once you sign up, there's usually some monies for you. So let me know. I'll put my information in the chat and you can always reach out to me. I will send you the link so you can, the link for link, I like that play on words, so you can sign up and get your own digital wallet. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I close, remember I said before we have some money to give away. It's going to be a time feature and Jody will tell you about it just as we close the presentation. So just to look at the requirements that you'll need, and I'll just make reference to the bullet points. So you need a valid ID, any one of those that is stated there. Notice for the student, the 0 to 17-year-old must present student ID, birth certificate, or a court order where the adult is not his or her parent. And if they don't have the student ID, they can use their passport or a passport size photograph that has been certified by a justice of the peace or the principal of the school. Income, proof of income, you see it there, proof of address. And you give us the names of 2 references who can vouch for you that you can open an account. And the references must come from a justice of the peace, pastor, could be another NCB customer, principal of a school, superintendent of police and higher ranks, or an NCB branch manager, or from any other bank. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attentiveness. I could hear the silence and I'm just soaking it up. So I'm gonna drop my information in the chat. So I'm expecting to see my email flooded. All who want to know about Link, you want to open your account, you want to get a loan, you want to buy a house, the car, you want to take the vacation, whatever it is, we have something to help you. All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Valerie, for a rather insightful and very, very well articulated presentation on how we can start, building our legacy of being money smart. Now, I hope you guys are still here with us. YouTube, this is time for you to win and earn a gift certificate courtesy of NCB Foundation today. So get your quick fingers. We're almost there. We will take a few questions shortly. So I hope you can have some time to stay with us just a little bit longer. But get ready to look into the chat because we are about to drop that quick financial literacy quiz. Now, if you can get everything correct, and it's just merely 4 to 5 questions, then you are certain to be, and you're in the top 20, and you're certain to win this prize. All right, so go ahead at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop that message. There we go. Who will be the lucky winners? We have 20 persons who want to give up to $2,500 a gift certificate. And I really want to make sure that everyone gets this opportunity. So you be the first one. Go ahead. Go ahead and complete it. The link is in the chat. I am waiting to see who will be the top 20. But if time runs out, then of course we will certainly send you an email congratulating you, and of course with further details on how you can claim your special earning gift certificate. All right. Whilst persons are doing that, Stacey, are you still here with us?
I am. I've been answering questions in the chat.
Right. I saw so many questions, Stacey, and I know there are some persons who really wanted to get further questions answered. Had you answered Tiana Larman question already? She mentioned that earlier you said you are always learning and you did some certifications. Which certifications would you recommend for women who aren't established in tech as yet? What would you say to that, Stacey?
That was a good question. And
Yes.
starting out, I think especially if you want to have a broad understanding, I recommended two. I recommend a business analyst cert. And I'm talking about just general basic cert, right? Unless you know exactly what it is you want to do. So if you're not sure, and if you're just kind of a generalist that wants to get an idea, business analysis is one. And the second one is data analysis, because those are what I would consider now relatively, they're niche, but they allow you to touch different aspects of technology. And it's also a really great way to learn and also make money, because there's a high demand right now for those roles. Now, if you actually know what you're interested in or what you're passionate about, even if you're just out, then you can also check out things like the CompTIA certificates. They have some basic entry-level certs that are for persons interested in cloud or in artificial intelligence. And of course, I also recommended Google, and if you wanted to do further local work, you could go to the Amber Heart Academy that NCB Foundation also supports. So yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thanks for that, Stacey. Another person, this one was anonymous, but he or she stated, "Hi, Stacey, I'm currently a business analyst and would really love to deep dive into tech. I was thinking of doing a second bachelor's degree in IT or computer science, but I heard you share your experience regarding certificates. What platforms would you recommend to do same in areas such as AI or other promising area of IT?" What would you say to that, Stacey?
Yeah, so definitely checking out the CompTIA cert. I did recommend the Vector Institute here on the island. They actually offer different types of programs that, and they have a partnership with CompTIA where it allows us to have access for probably lower cost than if we were to try to access those programs directly. And I would also suggest even tapping into some of the GSS programs, because they are looking to amplify certain specializations, like cybersecurity is one of those areas that they're looking to amplify. So they are partner and Salesforce development, the development side. And so you need to get plugged into the ecosystem. So you do that by either coming to the Jamaica Technology and Digital Alliance and asking them for information about these different organizations, and also tapping into NCB Foundation, because they're doing a lot of work around connecting with tech partners now as well. Yeah, and then you can also DM me. I am Stacey Hines on IG, and I can give you links to the different entities that you can go and check out.
Okay, nice. Here's another one for you, Stacey, because I feel like you have left such a legacy on everybody. We're feeling empowered. I'm feeling empowered. And here is another one. This is also from an anonymous attendee. And she said, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I noticed that you're also doing coaching programs. Are you enrolling currently, or will you be accepting new ones soon?" So clearly she's interested in you mentoring her and being a part of your coaching program. What would you have to say to that?
Actually, one of my programs is launching literally right now. I have a workshop tomorrow for women in leadership, and then there's a coaching program that's more tailored, I would say, towards women that are already in the workforce. What I am researching, however, which is where that QR code came from, is I'm looking at doing a summer retreat for these schools and foundations that I'm visiting for girls interested. It's called STEM by Fem. And what I would recommend is that you just follow my page. That's the best I have for you right now. Or I can actually drop the the PDF with the QR code in the chat, if that would work. But otherwise, it would have to be through my my page.
So I would recommend you drop it in the chat, this one, as well as share it with me. And from the NCB Foundation, we'd love to share it with the participants of this program so they can decide whether or not they'd like to. Also, Stacey, can you also drop the link to your ebook? Nadria was asking for it again.
Sure, no problem.
All right, and Nikita, I'm trying to figure out which of the links you're asking for in the chat, but we're going to drop the links again. That is to the ebook, and if it's for the, okay, thank you so much, Stacey. I'm seeing it. Okay, great. All right, so I think those are all the questions. I know you had started as well, Stacey, to answer the questions directly to the persons who asked. So thank you so much for that. But I believe we've come to the end of another engaging and exciting talk with our young ladies and our future leaders. Thank you so much for joining us. The NCB Foundation is absolutely pleased to have had you. And if you have any further questions that you'd like us to share, with Stacey or Valerie, please go ahead and email us at ncbfoundation@jncb.com. We'd be happy to facilitate you. It's all about learning and learning and learning. One of my biggest takeaway today was when Stacey said to us, we must become women of impact. We must be intentional about what we're doing. And I hope everyone on YouTube, everyone in Zoom has soak that in, because you can't build a legacy where money is concerned. You can't be money smart if you are not intentional about your savings, intentional about how you're spending, intentional about your budgeting. And you can't be a woman in tech if you're not intentional about the impact you want to leave on the world. So it all ties back in. For those who have completed the quiz, thank you so much. I see the done happening. Lots of love to you as well. Look out for the message in your email. If you are amongst the 20 top persons to complete it successfully, we have an awesome gift certificate for you. And we want to wish you all the best with it as well. So look out for those emails, all right? We do have a feedback that survey that we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and drop it in the chat for me or admin. There we go. I've seen it. So quickly, go ahead and fill out that survey. It's no more than a minute to complete. It's really just 2 questions. We want to know whether or not this session was impactful for you. Was it useful? Are you interested in anything more like this from NCB Foundation and possibly from Epic Transformation? Please let us know. We would love to hear. Okay. And might I add, whilst you're filling out the post survey, be reminded to leave a positive legacy through the power of technology. Be intentional about the things you do so that your why become easier and clearer. Become a woman of impact, as Stacey reminds us today. Learn the things that will make you bloom and accelerate success without stress. Become that balanced lady boss, because you do have those women in tech who are exemplary to this. So it's a proven fact. Take Stacey Hines, for example. Takes Valerie Ferguson, who is a woman in fintech. They're an example of success. They're an example of women who are making a change and leaving a positive legacy on our country, on our nation. And today we empower you to take the charge forward and become that woman as well, a woman of impact. Have yourself a good evening, and thank you so much for joining. This was your host, Jody Ann Ferron. Thank you so much. Have a good one.